Black Series Jango Fett. So let's check him out. Okay, so I've had this figure about since it came out quite a few years ago now. This is the first original red box, Black Series release. And they've re-released this figure, a couple different times now. I think they re-released it in the blue box as a GameStop exclusive. I never did buy that figure because it's basically the same as this one, just with a slightly different head and, the different jetpack, the Geonosis one. So that's why I never did buy that one. And I think they're re-releasing this again as a deluxe figure. I'm debating on whether I should get that one or not because, like I said, because I have this one. But that one comes with quite a bit extra accessories and things too. So, yeah, I'm debating on whether I should get that one or not. But, so, today we're going to take a look at this, very first original figure. So, without further ado, let's get into the packaging. Okay, so this is, the older style red box they started using when, The Force Awakens came out, about 10 years ago now. So, yeah, I remember when these were new and, these were pretty cool. But, now, the very original boxes of Black Series were quite a bit different, too. Which, when I review one of those, I'll show you one of those. But, this is the older red box style that they started doing when The Force Awakens came out. So, this is number 15, Jango Fett. And it's just got, where the figure will be showcased, Star Wars Black Series. It's got, like a portrait of Jango Fett there. It says Jango Fett there at the bottom. It says Jango Fett on the side. On the back, it's got like a read up. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it. And same portrait of Jango Fett and some, stuff there at the bottom. Not much more on the very bottom there. On the top's kind of a window where you can look down in there. So yeah, pretty cool packaging. These older packagings are pretty cool. Now which one do I prefer? Do I prefer the Euro style or the, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're both pretty cool in their own way. The red and the black on these boxes really, complementing each other. It's really cool. Let's start with his accessories. His, first one here is his iconic, twin West Star blasters, which are pretty cool. It's kind of mostly like a silver paint job, but the handle there is kind of like a baby blue, so it makes it kind of stand out. It's these pistols, these blasters is what he used in Attack of the Clones. So which is pretty cool. Now he has holsters on his belt there, obviously, where you can holster them, or you can get him to hold these, which is pretty easy. Just slide them in there, and he can hold on to the blaster, which is pretty cool. So, very importantly, he comes with a jetpack, which mine's got a few paint scuffs all the way right there. I don't know if it was like that if it was new or from, kind of, falling over on the shelf and stuff. Sometimes, that'll happen. But, this is, based on the jetpack he wore towards the end of the movie on Geonosis. He wore a different jetpack on Camino, which was very similar to the one that Boba Fett wears here, as you can see. And, now the Boba Fett jetpack won't interchange onto Jango's back here because it's a completely different peg system. You could probably force it in there, but as you can see, it's not going to go on all the way. The top pegs ain't going to go in because, as you can see, the peg systems are completely different. The jetpack that came with Axe Wolves is very similar, but, it's, not the same. As you can see, it's shaped a little bit different. And as you see, the back peg is also completely different, so they won't interchange with each other. But, to put this on, you just match it up with his back there, put the peg in, and press it forward, goes in. Now he's got his jetpack on, so it helps kind of complete the look there, which is pretty cool. And most importantly, he comes with his helmet, and as you can see, it is, very shiny, really shiny and chrome. And, as you can see, it's got, the blue trim on it, everything. Like in Attack of the Clones. The antenna does not move, unfortunately. They didn't get to that point yet in this process. But as you can see, it's got the dent on the top there, which is a lot different than the dent that Boba Fett has on his. But, yeah, in Legends continuity, Jango Fett and Boba Fett, both of their armor was made out of Durasteel, which is why they have dents and stuff in them. Because, Beskar is not supposed to be able to be dinged up. But, now in canon continuity, Jango and Boba Fett have Beskar armor. And as you can see, there's the thing in the back there. Kind of like purple inside there, not a lot of details. But, he can put this onto his head, and that helps, complete the look of Jango Fett. So for articulation, he can, has a ball joint at the head, a hinge at the shoulder, a single hinge there at the elbow, which is kind of hindered by the thing on his arm there. He's got, you know, pretty good waist articulation, a hinge and a swivel there at the thigh. As you can see, a double bend there at the knee, which is kind of stiff on mine. There it went. And he's got, you know, a hinge and ankle pivot. So let's take a look at the sculpt, design, and color of Jango, starting with his head. Move his helmet. And as you can see, he's got a pretty decent Tamora Morrison likeness, as you can see. And, you know, now I think the photo real take is a lot, you know, better than, you know, than the older sculpted ones here. But, you know, this is not bad, though. As you can see, it does look like Tamora Morrison as he did back, you know, in the early 2000s when Attack of the Clones was made. And, yeah, Tamora Morrison is, you know, yeah, he can play, you know, thousands of different characters. So, you know, that's a good thing about, you know, clones, too. You can, you know, reuse the same head sculpt for a lot of them. But, as you can see, going down his armor there, it, you know, it's all silver just like his helmet, but it's got some kind of dirt paint details on it. So but, you know, put the helmet back on. It does match his helmet pretty good, and it complements very well. It's got like a black undersuit holding the armor plates onto it, as you can see. A lot different from Boba Fett. And speaking of Boba Fett, I don't have the very original one, but I do have the, you know, white prototype armor one. And, you know, this doesn't appear to be reused from any of the first Boba Fett figure, from what I can tell. So this is all new sculpting for the time. Which they've reused this body for different figures now. I think they've reused this body for a couple of different other Mandalorians, like the one with the Maul horns. I can't remember what that one was called, and the Loyalist one. And then they reused this body again for Pre-Vizsla. So, which I'm going to try to get that figure, because that figure looks really cool. So I'm going to try to get Pre-Vizsla. But, you know, we'll talk about that when on down the road when I do get that figure. But, as you can see, it's got the purple undersuit like he wore in the movie. And it's got the armor gauntlets, which my right arm one has popped out of the thing, and I can't get mine to pop back in, so I don't know what is wrong with it. It's been like that ever since I got it. Now, another problem with these tubes that come out of his arm, when you articulate them, it snaps the tubes off. So, that's kind of a poor design there. I wish they could have made those where that wouldn't happen, but, you know, unfortunately it does. This one is still plugged in real good, but this other one, like I said, I don't know what's wrong with it. It just won't plug back in right. But I may be able to like heat it up or something, maybe get back on, but I just haven't tried. And see, he's got the armor plates on his. He's got the crotch protector and the plates on the front of his legs and the knee pads. He doesn't have any on the back there, but he's got the, you know, belt gun on the back. You move the jetpack, you can see the armor on the back there, which kind of goes up around like that, as you can see. So put that back on there. See, he's got the armor plates on the front of his shins, and you know, kind of matches his boots there too. His boots are kind of really shiny, rubbery black, like material looks like, but he's got the silver bits on the side and the top there, which looks pretty cool actually. Okay, so it's comparison time. So here is this 6-inch Black Series Jango Fett compared to the one that came in that Fett Legacy 3-pack. Unfortunately, I misplaced the blasters with that, but I don't know where they're at. But yeah, as you can see, this Fett Legacy 3-pack one still got rubber bands on his hands too. I never did take those off. I don't know why I never did take them off, but as you can see, you know, quite a bit of difference. Like if you remove the helmets here, you can see quite a bit of difference in the, you know, head design and everything. How much the newer Black Series one looks a lot more like the Morrison. It's got a more correct skin tone, as you can see, because this one, the skin tone is not really all that correct. But yeah, this is an older figure. It's like, you know, early, like to mid 2000s, so it wouldn't be as good. So now I don't have the original Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett they made very early on in the line, but I do have, you know, the white prototype armor version, which was the last figure I actually reviewed. So as you can see, yeah, they didn't reuse any of the parts from this, which it's kind of surprising. You think they would reuse like maybe some of the armor bits and stuff, but you know, it's all new sculpting, so you know, I can appreciate that. So here he is compared to the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. As you can see, you know, more color like, you know, Boba Fett should be, unlike that other one. But still, you know, you can see a lot of difference in that, like in some comic book material. I don't know if it's still canon or not, but you know, Jango Fett's armor was originally colored like Boba Fett's armor, and then, you know, he got, you know, ended up, you know, getting captured by, you know, Jedi Order, and then got sold into slavery. That governor, I forgot what planet, that rich governor took his armor and, you know, had it, you know, stripped down to the medals and had to repaint it. And, you know, this color scheme right here, so that's why, you know, in Attack of the Clones, it's, you know, a lot different looking than, you know, the original Boba Fett armor. So that's kind of a cool explanation, but I don't know if that's actually still canon or not. But like I said, it's still pretty cool. And last but not least, here is compared to, you know, the Mandalorian Boba Fett. You know, they label it as Book of Boba Fett, but, you know, it's not technically, you know, from the Book of Boba Fett. This is based off the way Boba Fett appeared in the Mandalorian. But, you know, anyway, you know, both, you know, played by Tamora Morrison. You know, the Return of the Jedi one, you know, obviously wasn't, but, you know, this version of Boba Fett is. So, you take off the helmet of each one of these. So as you can see, now you can see the difference in the Tamora Morrison head. You know, the Jango Fett one is, you know, more the way he looked back in the early 2000s, you know, and then this new, you know, Mandalorian / Book of Boba Fett one is, you know, how he, you know, looks, you know, in present day. So, you know, quite a bit of difference. So what do I think of this figure overall? Yeah, I really like this figure. It's one of my favorite ones I had. One of the first Black Series Mandalorians I ever bought too. And now, do I prefer Jango Fett or Boba Fett? You know, well, I like them both. I've always preferred, Boba Fett a little bit more, I guess, because, you know, he was, you know, the OG Mandalorian, and, you know, I liked his color scheme a lot better than I did Jango Fett. But, you know, for what it is, you know, Jango Fett's armor is still pretty cool. I like the fact that it's really shiny too. That's one thing that was kind of cool about it. But like I said, I prefer them, you know, more Boba Fett colors, because they're, I guess, you know, they're more subdued. They're not, you know, shiny and loud. But still, you know, pretty cool figure. I do recommend it for any, you know, Mandalorian fan, Jango Fett fan, you know, Boba Fett, you know, Tamora Morrison fan, you know, anybody who likes, you know, any of those I just named. So give me a thumbs up. It helped me a lot. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Till next time.